Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! It's Doodly Squatch. Hi. Here I am with another holiday-themed doodle and some stories. So let's just jump into it. Today's drawing was a suggestion from my youngest. He said he wanted a tree monster. So easy peasy. I'm pretty sure I've done similar drawings like this before, but it was fun to do regardless. And it's about almost a week till Christmas. Not quite, but getting close. So I hope you guys have your shopping done. But I figured I could talk about Christmas stories, or some traditions my family has, at least. See how they match up with other people, or if that if it's unique, who knows. But in my household, when Christmas Day came, well, let's rewind a little. So the night before Christmas, at least when we were living in our second house, once all my brothers were born, my bedroom was opposite where everyone else's rooms were, and it kind of overlooked the downstairs where the Christmas tree was. So I wasn't allowed to sleep in my room because I could peek and see presents and things. So I would usually sleep in my brother just below me's room and sleep on like a pad or something on his floor. And so that was kind of fun. It was always unique, like a sleepover almost. And my folks would put a chair blocking the hallway, and then they would drape jingle bells over the chair. That's the alarm. None of us tried sneaking out. I don't think it was really we didn't want to spoil the surprise as much as my folks didn't want us peeking in. But that was kind of the low-tech security system. It's funny to think about now. And then the morning would come, and the agreement, we had to have our rooms clean and beds made, and we couldn't go downstairs till Mom took us downstairs. So we would kind of shout down the hall, it's Christmas, Merry Christmas, wake up. And my folks would wake up, and they'd get dressed, they'd get all ready. It was no big rush, but it was early, and Dad needed to go downstairs and get things, get lights on, get things prepped. And his running joke would always be, oh, looks like they skipped our house this year. I don't see any presents, kids. Hey, no, that's not funny. And then Dad would turn the Christmas lights on and turn the stereo on, and usually it would either be Raffi Sings Christmas Songs, or more often it was John Denver and the Muppets Sing Christmas Carols, and that's a favorite. That's what I play for my kids whenever, every Christmas morning. I usually have that rolling when we are opening presents. And so Dad's doing his shtick, getting things set up, lights are on, and my brothers and I would line up in our hallway by age. So youngest is in the front, I'm in the back. Meanwhile, my mom is getting the video camera out, and a lot of kids a lot of folks my age can relate to this. Is Mom firing up the camera, and across the screen in big white letters it says like Merry Christmas, or something that's programmed in for the date, and then struggling to get it to get off the dang screen. And it happened every year. It was the funniest thing, because we'd be like, we'll remember next year, la-di-da-di-da-di-da, just whatever. And And Mom would struggle. She'd get it off eventually, and then finally, it was time to go downstairs and see the presents. And the way my folks did it, we had presents under the tree wrapped. Those were from family. And the night before, we would put our stockings on the couches, kind of in our spots. My brothers had, the two youngest boys had, each corner of the couch. I had the love seat, and my brother Dan would usually be on like the coffee table or something like that. And so overnight, Santa would come and put the presents by the stockings, and they weren't wrapped. They were even out of their packages and ready to go, and all that set up pretty cool. If it was a complicated, electronic, it would be set up. If it was some dumb toy that needed a bunch of stickers put on it, that would be all done. So it was really cool, very magical. I always loved it. And for me now, with my kids, we don't have near as much prep, I guess. But some things are the same. When I was a kid, every Christmas Eve we would read, the Christmas story in the Bible. Luke, I think. Luke. But then Mom would always read to us Mr. Willoughby's Christmas Tree. And she did it every year. And when all of us were grown and moving out, my mom gave us each a copy of it. And I should really ask her where she got that book from, like where she started reading it or how that became a thing. But every year I read that book to my kids, and they've come to look forward to it. They know it's happening. They know all the dumb voices I do. I love it. It's a fun book. It's cute. It's short. It's not overly sappy, but I don't know. It's part of my childhood, and it's kind of fun to share with my kids. What else do we do? My grandma's birthday is on Christmas, so we would usually celebrate it a couple days before. And grandma's favorite thing was shrimp, so shrimp dishes, coconut shrimp, shrimp scampi, just plain old cocktail shrimp, that sort of stuff. I sound like Bubba. Anywho, but so we'd have like a big shrimp dinner beforehand, and it was fun, when there was not a ton of us around. But once all the cousins started getting older and we had families of our own, it was a lot harder to get together, and so we kind of let my folks and my mom's siblings, have a night with her before she passed. And now I like to have like some form of shrimp before Christmas, just kind of as remembering Grandma. And shrimp's awesome. Gosh darn it. You guys know my stance on ham, so no need to get into that again. But for me, memorable Christmases, I remember the year my folks got us a Super Nintendo. Golly, I never would have expected it, because the way my parents carried on about how much they really hated Nintendos, and always playing it at our friends' houses, and rah rah rah. And then one morning we're doing the thing, line up, go out, and there's the TV. The TV's on, the Super Nintendo's hooked up, Mario World is on there, and it's the demo screen. It's just rolling, and I thought I was in Toys R Us. I was gobsmacked. It was amazing, and I'm sure my folks regret it, considering how much most of us play video games and all that. But it was really a cool Christmas, because it was completely unexpected. We always did the usual Christmas Eve kind of stuff. Mom would make us pajamas, or we'd all get blankets and that sort of thing, something to enjoy the night before. I remember when I was 16, my mom found a My Pet Monster, like an updated version, and she had gotten that for me, and that's not something I would think, because I didn't know it existed. And so that was a super cool Christmas. I've had my first My Pet Monster since I was about 3. So having both those and kind of full circle, they're both in my office still. They just sit on top of my bookshelf, and they're I love it. I don't mean to gush so much. And traditions I've started like with my kids, trying to just things they expect. My wife likes to we like to have like a candlelight like dinner for Christmas Eve. That's always fun. Or we will we have a fireplace, but we don't really build fires in it, but we have a bunch of candles in there, and we'll light the candles, and then the kids will make s'mores over the candles. Movies we like to watch. Lately, the newest tradition, we like to watch Violent Night with David Harbour for Christmas, or at least sometime during the month. Muppet Christmas Carol's great. Die Hard, first Gremlins movie, Home Alone. Yeah, there's so many. There are a lot of darn Christmas movies for sure. But yeah, that's about it for now. Had fun drawing this monster. I like the colors. I like the cat. But my boy likes it, so it's good enough for me. But I hope you guys have an enjoyable holiday and a fun Christmas, what have you. All the other ones, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever, if you do Mithras, Yule. Regardless, I hope you have a good end of the year. We will see you next time. Like, comment, and subscribe, and appreciate you.